It was the smell of burnt plastic that first hit me, the acrid stench of something valuable being destroyed beyond recognition. Standing in the middle of our sleek, modern kitchen, I stared in disbelief at the charred mess of what used to be my passport. Belle had done this. She had burned the one thing that tied me to the outside world, thinking it would trap me. But she did not know the truth. Not yet. Belle, my wife, was sitting casually just a few feet away, sipping her green smoothie. Her fingers swiped through her phone as though nothing had happened, as if she had not just incinerated my identity. Her smug tone, dripping with a sense of superiority, filled the room as she spoke. "You don't need it. Stay home and take care of the kids. That's what poor husbands do." I stared at her, the sting of the words barely registering. She didn't know what I had done, what I was about to do. Her control had always been like a tight knot around my life, restricting, suffocating. But what she didn't understand was that the passport wasn't just a piece of paper. It was my key to freedom, to escape. And though she thought she had erased it, she had only fueled a fire that would soon burn through the very walls she thought would keep me here. Belle's laughter faded into the background as I glanced at the ashes of my passport. She thought she had me cornered. That smug smile on her face, the quiet confidence in her demeanor, it was all so misplaced. She believed she had stripped me of my last connection to the world, but she couldn't have been more wrong. What she didn't know, what she could never know, was that I had just signed a deal that would change everything. My startup, the one I had built from the ground up over the past 15 years, had just been sold for $2 billion. The money was in my account, sitting there like a quiet force, waiting to be unleashed. Power was in my hands, and she had no idea. For years, I had worked in the shadows, silent, patient, building my empire, while pretending to be the good husband, the loving father. Belle never saw the late nights spent negotiating, the endless hours I poured into the business. She saw only the surface, the guy who took care of the kids and kept the house together. But underneath, I had created something monumental, something that no one, not even Belle, could take away. I had kept this secret from her, and it was the last surprise I would ever give her. She thought she was in control, that she had me trapped in this gilded cage, but I had just found the key. Soon, she would realize the truth. The tables were about to turn, and there was no going back. I watched her leave the kitchen, oblivious to the fact that I was already walking away from everything, my family, my home, my life with her. She did not deserve the surprise anymore. She had turned me into a puppet in our marriage, controlling every move I made, and I was done. The years of silence, of swallowing my resentment, had come to an end. I grabbed a duffel bag and began stuffing it with the essentials: clothes, toiletries, a few personal items. The cash from the safe she didn't know about went in next, along with my laptop, some key documents, and a spare key fob for my car. All the things that could secure my freedom and give me the leverage I needed. As I walked back into the kitchen one last time, my eyes fell on the ashes of my passport. It was a silent message to her, a final symbol of what she had taken from me. I grabbed a notepad, scribbled a quick note: "You're right. I'll stay home. Enjoy your trip," and placed it next to the charred remains. She would think it was surrender, but it wasn't. It was a declaration of war. The battle had just begun, and I was no longer the man she controlled. I locked the door behind me, the sound of the deadbolt clicking echoing through the empty house. I walked to my car, a black SUV she had never once paid attention to, and got in. The engine hummed to life as I pulled out of the driveway and drove away into the night. The city lights blurred through the windshield, fading away as I left everything behind: My family, my home, my past, all of it slipped into the rearview mirror, vanishing with each mile. I wasn't broken. I wasn't defeated. I was free. I checked into a penthouse downtown, far away from the life I had built with Belle, a new beginning, a place where I could finally breathe. The glass walls of the apartment offered a panoramic view of the city below, the lights flickering like 1,000 new opportunities. For the first time in years, I felt a sense of peace. The weight that had pressed on my chest for so long was gone, and in its place was something stronger. Clarity. But I wasn't running away. I was taking control. Belle would soon learn that I was no longer the man she thought she had outsmarted. The quiet, docile husband she had trapped in her web. He was gone. I was something else now. Someone who would make his own rules, chart his own course, and never look back. I woke up to the morning light pouring through the penthouse windows, the city stretching out below me like a new world. My phone buzzed on the nightstand, the screen lighting up with Belle's name. 10 missed calls, a dozen frantic texts. Her words were a jumble of confusion and rage, each one more frantic than the last. She had no idea where I was, and the note I left only seemed to fuel her anger. I didn't care. For the first time in years, I felt a sense of calm settle over me. I wasn't worried about her. I wasn't worried about anything. I had bigger things to do now. I dialed Juno's number, my lawyer, the one person I trusted to get things done without asking questions. She picked up on the second ring. "You're up early," she said, her voice smooth, as if nothing was out of the ordinary. "Everything okay?" "I just sold my company for $2 billion, I said, the words feeling more real with each second. "And I'm locking Belle out of everything. Accounts, cards, all of it. I want it frozen by noon." There was a brief silence, followed by a low whistle. "Done," she replied, her voice calm, yet impressed. "Consider it taken care of." I hung up, feeling the weight of my decision settle in. This was it. The game had changed, and Belle, in her arrogance, had no idea what was coming next. By midday, everything was in motion. My accounts were frozen, Belle had nothing left, and I was already thinking about my next move. The power was in my hands, and every decision felt deliberate, calculated. My lawyer, Juno, was on it, gathering everything I needed to bury her. Texts, security footage, receipts, all the proof of her betrayal, the lies, the manipulation. She had always thought she was the one in control, the one who called the shots. But she had no idea how wrong she was. I wasn't just protecting myself anymore. I was building a case, carefully and methodically, that would destroy her. And Noah, the affair she had so casually flaunted, I had the evidence, the receipts, the timeline. I had proof of their secret meetings, the lies they had whispered behind my back. And now, with all the resources at my disposal, I was going to use it to take them both down. Isla, Noah's fiancée, had become an unexpected ally in this war. She had her own collection of evidence, proof of Noah's deceit, and together we were going to expose them for the frauds they were. It was almost poetic, her betrayal and mine, our shared purpose in bringing them both to justice. No one could stop us now. Belle and Noah had underestimated me for far too long, and now, with every move I made, I was turning the tables. The game had changed, and I was playing to win. I sat at my penthouse desk, the city skyline stretching out before me, but my focus was entirely on the stack of evidence in front of me. Each document, each piece of information was a step closer to ending this twisted game. The security footage showed Belle sneaking Noah into our house late at night, his smug smile caught on camera as he walked past the living room. The texts between them were even worse. Messages about draining our accounts, about framing me as the villain. They had planned this meticulously, building a narrative where I would look like the unstable one. And now, there were the receipts. Proof. of Noah's secret trips with Belle, trips to places I had never known, expensive resorts, 5-star hotels, and luxury dinners. She had been living a double life, the secrecy, the luxury. It all made sense now. She had planned this all along. Noah thought he was playing me. He thought I was too busy, too distracted to notice the little details, the things that didn't add up. But I saw everything. I knew everything. Every message, every conversation, every lie they had told me. I had it all in front of me now, like a map leading to their destruction. A rush of adrenaline surged through me as I prepared to send everything to the press. My lawyer had already drafted the legal filings, restraining orders, asset freezes, everything needed to bring them down. It was all set in motion. The foundation of the betrayal was about to be laid bare for the world to see. It was over. The plan they thought would trap me, it was about to backfire in ways they couldn't imagine. The next morning I sat in the silence of my penthouse, the city outside still wrapped in the calm haze of dawn. I stared out the window, contemplating the storm that was about to hit. My thoughts drifted to the kids, how confused they would be when they woke up and I wasn't there. How could I explain this to them? But I couldn't let that stop me. I couldn't let Belle get away with it. I couldn't let her continue to live her lie, thinking she could control me, manipulate me, and break me down. She had burned my passport, trying to destroy my last tether to freedom, but she had not burned my life. She hadn't taken away the years I spent building myself, my business, my independence. I was ready to fight, to take back everything she had tried to steal from me. The texts, the security footage, the receipts. Everything I had gathered was in my lawyer's hands now, ready to be made public at a moment's notice. I had nothing to hide. The evidence was solid, airtight. Belle was about to lose everything. The life she built on lies, the control she thought she had over me. I took a deep breath, feeling the weight of what was coming. The calm before the storm, and then the storm would break. She would see, just as Noah would, that I wasn't the man they thought they could trap. This was my fight, and I was ready for it. I called my journalist friend, the one who owed me a favor. I knew she wouldn't hesitate for a second to break the story. A betrayal, a fortune, and a wife's deceit. This would be the headline of the year, and everyone would want to know how it all unraveled. I shot her an email, simple but direct. Let's meet tomorrow. I have a story you'll want to hear. As I hit send, I sat back in my chair, letting the weight of the moment settle over me. The penthouse felt quieter now, more still, like the calm before a final, decisive blow. Belle thought she had trapped me. She thought I was small, powerless, that I was just a man in a gilded cage. But she had made the mistake of underestimating me. She thought she held all the cards, but I was the one with the final move. The game was over, and I was the one in control now. Tomorrow, the world would know the truth. Belle and Noah's lies would be exposed, and there would be no hiding from the consequences. My company, my money, my life, they were mine again. The story would be told, the tables would be turned, and everything she thought she had taken from me would be returned, tenfold. I was no longer a victim. I was the victor, and this was just the beginning. The city below was bustling, but all I could focus on was what I had just achieved. My past life, the one I had built with Belle, was gone, but in its place, a new life had begun. Belle and Noah would face the consequences of their actions, and as for me, I had the freedom to rebuild, to start fresh. This wasn't just about revenge. It was about reclaiming my dignity, my life, and my future. I had spent too long living under the weight of someone else's control, but now I was free. I was no longer the man Belle thought I was. I was stronger, smarter, and more determined than ever. I had taken back what was mine, and I was ready for whatever came next. The future was wide open, and for the first time in years, I felt in control.